Hey everybody, it's Tom Bullington with InMotion Realty. Hope you're doing well today. I often get the question, especially from first-time home buyers, of what the difference between a inspection and an appraisal is. And it's an excellent question. An inspection comes up after you've purchased the home, after your purchase agreement has been signed by both parties, by the buyer and the seller. And typically working with your realtor, you set a 7 to 10 day inspection period for looking at the home. So in the state of Minnesota, what you do is you hire an inspector, and he or she comes out and looks at the home, looks at all of the details. So they look at the roof, they look at the foundation, they look at the electrical system, maybe they'll test the radon, things like this, see if there's any leaks that we don't know about from the seller's disclosure statement, things like that. After the inspector finishes his or her report, they send you a report complete with photographs and all the details. So you and your realtor can look at that report and decide if you'd like to ask the seller to do any additional work or to rectify any of those issues. So let's just say there's high radon in the home. Do you want to ask the seller to install a radon mitigation system? Or there's something wrong with the electrical panel. Maybe it has fuses and you'd rather have circuit breakers installed. Or there's some issues with the roof or the foundation. All of those things. Typically, what I will ask for as a realtor on behalf of my clients is health and safety related issues. So, especially if there's something wrong with the electrical system, that needs to be fixed. Radon, too. In the state of Minnesota and the upper Midwest, we have radon levels that are dangerous. So, a lot of times we'll have to have a radon mitigation system installed in the home. A lot of people don't know about radon, so we have to explain that to the buyers and the sellers oftentimes. So, all of those sorts of issues. Once we've figured out, okay, we have the inspection report, what is going to be requested to be fixed, the seller has to decide, okay, am I going to fix these things? Am I not going to fix these things? There's a little bit of back and forth. But once that's all figured out and the inspection is decided, okay, yes, we're going to do this to fix it, things like that, the inspection period closes and we go to what's called the pending status. Prior to that, during the inspection period, it's an active listing, but it's a contingent listing, so it's contingent based on inspection, is what they call it. So after that's all over, it goes to pending, and then we go on to closing. The thing that has to happen before the closing, though, if you're using conventional financing or any other sort of financing, if you're paying cash, there doesn't need to be an appraisal, first of all. But the appraisal is something that the lender, so whether that is your bank or it's a lending organization or it's a savings and loan or something like that that goes in and says, okay, we're going to lend you the VA and also FHA, the federal agencies. They all want an appraisal. They want to make sure that you are getting a loan for the amount that the property is actually worth. So that $300,000 home, the appraiser is going to come in and make sure that, first of all, the home is there, it's represented accurately in the sales document. So it's 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, it's this many square feet, and it's in this area. So to make sure that there's nothing terribly wrong with the property. But the main thing an appraiser does is look at that and look at it and say, okay, in the last 6 to 12 months, similar homes, similarly built homes, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, this many square feet, approximately within a mile or two of that neighborhood, what did they sell for? If a lot of them are selling for 300 or around in that range, then yes, it's going to appraise and you are going to get the loan with no problems. If it does not appraise, so let's just say it goes in at 290 or 285, you're going to have to make up that gap somewhere with the seller. So whether that's a negotiation that the seller says, okay, we'll come down in our price, we'll allow you to only purchase it for 290, or the buyer has to come in and come up with 10,000 more dollars that's not financed, that's not from this lender. If the lender thinks your home is only worth $290,000, but you've agreed with the with the seller to pay $300,000, that $10,000 has to come from somewhere. So that could be a gift, that could be from somewhere else. But if the seller does not agree to lower the price, you're going to have to come up with that 10 grand. Rarely is the situation just at a dead end where you have to disband the sale. Sometimes that does happen if you can't come to an agreement. But that's kind of what an appraisal is versus an inspection. So there is a big difference there. Typically, appraisers do not come in and look for major issues. VA and FHA, because it's the federal government, they want a little bit more assurance that the home is in good shape, things like that. They will come in and do a little bit more, especially if there's peeling paint or if there's structural issues, things like that. They won't lend you the money as readily as a conventional lender would. But that's a whole nother video. So that's the difference between inspection and appraiser. I hope that helps you a lot. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to text or call 651-402-6356, or you can go online, search for homes, and look at all the work I've done here in the community at tombullingtonhomes.com. And hope you have a great day. Thank you.